Deep within Yale's Voynich library lies a mystery, the Voynich Manuscript. Its vellum pages are filled with a script no one can read and illustrations of plants and constellations that exist nowhere else. For over 6 centuries it has defied every attempt at understanding, its language, its purpose, even its origin. Theories abound, a lost language, a cipher, a medieval hoax. None have held. Discovered in 1912 by Wilfred Voynich, the book's history is as shadowy as its contents. It sits in its vault, a silent challenge to the limits of human knowledge. But now, a new kind of codebreaker is ready to try artificial intelligence. The Voynich Manuscript, a baffling enigma bound in parchment, filled with cryptic illustrations and indecipherable text, has humbled the world's greatest minds for centuries. Generations of scholars, linguists, and codebreakers have dedicated their careers to unraveling its secrets, only to be met with frustration and dead ends. The manuscript remains stubbornly resistant to any definitive interpretation. Emperors like Rudolph II, who supposedly purchased the manuscript, intrigued by its promise of hidden knowledge and arcane wisdom. Alchemists, driven by the hope of discovering the philosopher's stone or unlocking the secrets of transmutation, have pored over its pages, seeking clues to ancient formulas. And cryptographers have all tried and failed to break the code, to decipher the meaning behind the strange symbols and unusual script. They've employed every technique in their arsenal, from frequency analysis to complex algorithms, yet the manuscript has remained impervious to their efforts to unlock its secrets. The allure of the unknown, the challenge of the seemingly impossible, continues to draw researchers back to its enigmatic pages. Even Alan Turing, the codebreaker who helped end World War II, a man who cracked the seemingly unbreakable Enigma code, reportedly studied its pages, drawn in by the intellectual puzzle it presented. The fact that even Turing couldn't crack it only adds to the manuscript's mystique. The manuscript's text follows linguistic rules, suggesting it's not random, exhibiting patterns and structures that resemble a natural language. But every attempt to match it to a known language or cipher has failed, leading to theories ranging from elaborate hoaxes to undiscovered languages. It looks and behaves like a language, with consistent word lengths, repeating patterns, and a structure that mimics natural speech, but communicates nothing, or at least nothing that anyone has been able to decipher. Each failure has only deepened its legend, adding another layer to the enigma that surrounds it, turning it into the Mount Everest of cryptography, a challenge that has lured countless adventurers, all seeking to plant their flag on its summit. The book is no longer just an unreadable text. It has transcended its physical form to become something more. It's a monument to the unknown, a testament to the limits of human understanding. As the 20th century ended, it became clear that traditional methods of decryption were insufficient. Solving the Voynich might require a mind that thinks differently, a new approach, a fresh perspective, unburdened by preconceived notions. One made of silicon. Perhaps the key to unlocking the Voynich manuscript lies not in human intuition, but in the analytical power of artificial intelligence. The rise of artificial intelligence brought new hope. AI can process vast data spot patterns and compare languages at a scale humans can't match. In 2017, researchers at the University of Alberta trained an AI on hundreds of languages using the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a baseline. The goal: see if the Voynich text matched any known language. The AI learned the statistical fingerprints of languages, then turned its attention to the manuscript. For the first time, the world watched as a machine tried to break the silence. Could AI succeed where centuries of human effort had failed? The experiment began a digital seance with history's most stubborn riddle. The world waited for an answer. After weeks of relentless processing, the AI's analysis produced a surprising result, a completely unexpected direction in the investigation. The team had fed it countless possibilities from obscure languages to complex mathematical formulas, but nothing could have prepared them for what came next. The AI flagged ancient Hebrew as its top match. A language with a rich history and complex structure, Hebrew seemed an unlikely candidate for the base of this cryptic text. The initial reaction was disbelief, but the AI's confidence was unwavering. The machine suggested the text wasn't simply written in Hebrew, but that it had undergone a significant transformation. It posited that the original text was Hebrew, but with all vowels systematically removed, and the remaining letters scrambled into a seemingly random order, essentially, an alphagram layered on top of a vowel-less text. This created a double layer of encryption. This double cipher, a combination of vowel removal and alphabetic scrambling, would be nearly impossible for a human to crack using traditional methods. The sheer number of potential combinations was astronomical, making manual decryption a daunting task. But not for a machine learning algorithm designed to sift through vast datasets and identify patterns invisible to the human eye. This was precisely the kind of challenge AI was built for. News outlets around the globe picked up the story, and headlines declared the Voynich Manuscript solved. The world watched with bated breath as the implications of this potential breakthrough rippled through the scientific community. Eager to validate the AI's findings, the researchers fed the first few lines of the manuscript into a Hebrew decryption program. The software worked tirelessly, attempting to reverse the alphagram and reintroduce the missing vowels. Finally, it produced a coherent sentence. The researchers translated the first sentence. She made recommendations to the priest, man of the house, and me and people. A seemingly simple statement, yet it offered a tantalizing glimpse into the world of the Voynich Manuscript. For a moment, bathed in the glow of computer screens and fueled by adrenaline, it seemed the centuries-old mystery had finally yielded its secrets. The team exchanged excited glances, daring to believe that they were on the verge of a monumental discovery. The world was captivated. The story spread like wildfire across social media and news channels, capturing the imagination of millions. Was this the definitive breakthrough, the moment everyone had waited for, the key to unlocking the secrets hidden within the Voynich Manuscript? The anticipation was palpable. The AI's apparent success in deciphering the initial sentence was hailed as a triumph of machine learning, a testament to the power of artificial intelligence in unraveling complex mysteries. The digital ghost, the AI that had tirelessly processed the manuscript's enigmatic symbols, had seemingly spoken, and the centuries of silence surrounding the Voynich Manuscript were finally broken, replaced by the promise of understanding. What profound secrets, what hidden knowledge, would the rest of the book reveal now that the initial barrier had been breached? What forgotten stories lay waiting to be rediscovered? The excitement within the research team and indeed throughout the world was electric, a palpable sense of anticipation and wonder. But as the initial euphoria subsided and the dust began to settle, a sense of cautious skepticism began to creep in. Questions began to surface, nagging doubts that threatened to undermine the apparent triumph. The researchers started to re-examine the AI's methodology and the validity of its translation. Was this truly the long-sought answer, the key to unlocking the Voynich Manuscript's secrets? Or was it just another mirage, a tantalizing illusion that would ultimately lead to disappointment? The line between breakthrough and false hope was becoming increasingly blurred. The initial excitement surrounding the AI's proposed solution was palpable. Hailed as a potential breakthrough, it seemed the centuries-old mystery of the Voynich Manuscript might finally be solved. However, as experts delved deeper into the AI's methodology and results, they soon began to find flaws in the AI's solution. The cracks in the code started to appear. The core issue stemmed from the AI's linguistic foundation. The machine had learned modern Hebrew, a language significantly evolved from its historical roots. This was not the medieval version that would have been used in the 15th century, the era when the Voynich Manuscript is believed to have originated. The nuances, grammar, and vocabulary were vastly different. Further complicating matters, its method, removing vowels and scrambling letters, revealed a fundamental misunderstanding of the text structure. This approach was so flexible it could force the text to fit almost any language, regardless of actual linguistic connections. It was a brute force method, lacking the sophistication needed for genuine decipherment. Critics argued the translation was a mathematical trick, a statistical anomaly, rather than a meaningful interpretation. It was not a real decipherment, but a clever manipulation of data. The single translated sentence, the supposed key to unlocking the manuscript's secrets, was generic, offering little insight into the text's true meaning. The translated sentence was so basic and lacked context that it required Google Translate to even make sense, highlighting the AI's limitations. Further undermining the claim, other languages like Malay, a language with no known historical connection to the manuscript, scored nearly as high as Hebrew, according to the AI's analysis, casting significant doubt on the validity and reliability of the result. Ultimately, the AI's job was to guess, to find patterns and correlations, but not to truly know or understand the underlying meaning. Without consistent, meaningful translations across the manuscript, without a coherent narrative emerging, the claim unraveled. revealing itself to be built on shaky foundations. The breakthrough faded, the initial spark of hope extinguished by the weight of scrutiny and the lack of substantial evidence. The silence returned to the libraries and research labs, a silence punctuated only by the rustling of pages and the quiet contemplation of unsolved mysteries. The Voynich Manuscript remained unread, its secrets locked away within its enigmatic pages. The promise of AI, once so bright, had become another chapter, a cautionary tale, in its long history of disappointment, a reminder that technology alone cannot solve every mystery. The enigma endured, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. The AI's attempt wasn't a failure, but a lesson. Machines can spot patterns and generate hypotheses, but they lack true understanding. The AI saw statistical echoes, but didn't grasp context, history, or meaning. Its translation was a sophisticated hallucination, a plausible answer with no real connection to the truth. The Voynich demands more than pattern recognition. It requires intuition, empathy, and creativity. The AI's effort was a dazzling flash, but the mystery remained as deep as ever. The book's secrets stayed locked away. The silence persisted. Today, the Voynich Manuscript remains unsolved. The AI's bold attempt is now a cautionary tale. The book's power lies not in a secret to be revealed, but in its resistance to being known. It is a perfect mystery, outlasting empires and technologies. The failed AI experiment reminds us, machines are powerful but limited. They answer questions but can't ask the right ones, or understand the wonder of the unknown. The Voynich may never be decoded, but it continues to inspire curiosity and awe. It waits for the next generation, the next leap, or a lucky discovery. Even unsolved, it has fulfilled its purpose, igniting our imagination. The real treasure is the enduring sense of wonder it leaves behind.